All right, what is up, guys? January market watch time here. So over Christmas, one of my family members that knows I like Zoids just randomly on a whim picked up a Zoid for me, and it was the Zero Fantoth, which I did not have in the backlog at all. So that's another Zoids Wild Zero kit that I was able to build. Like this guy quite a bit, so we'll be doing a review of that eventually. And I had a good friend of mine, Caleb, over at Flashing Blades Productions, send me a little care package here. These are all Zoids action figures from the Hasbro lines in various degrees of completeness. Some of them missing quite a bit of pieces. But we may do some videos with these, maybe some size comparisons at least between the action figure version and the wind up and motorized and Kotobukiya versions, all the different versions, and just to give these guys some screen time. And you know, I may keep them, I may auction them off. We'll see what happens. If anybody has any spare parts for those, definitely let me know. But I definitely appreciate that. Definitely go check out his channel. He and I collaborate on a lot of different stuff on the other channel. As you can see, the the second HMM case here. When I build the 2020 Blade Liger, it will go here where the Schneider is, and the Schneider will go next to the Berserk Fury when it's done. I'm actually going to finally get around to building the DCSJ today, and when I do, this shelf will probably become a Republic shelf, so I'll move the Lightning Sights down and put the DCSJ in its place, and then this will probably become an Empire shelf, where the Red Horn and the Lightning Sights will go down here with the Great Saber and the Mulgas, and the Raven Raptor will go in here as well. And then the Genos will go down here, the Psycho Genosaur, the regular Genosaur, and the Geno Breaker. Let's go check out the backlog really quick because it's still utterly massive. Still a ridiculous amount of Zoids in backlog. The Zero X is finally here. Look at that gorgeous box art. It looks fantastic, but the backlog is still ridiculously huge. I decided after I finish the DCSJ, I'm going to build the Red Horn next, and then we'll see where we go from there. Might be either the Wild Liger or the 2020 Blade Liger. There's the Raven Raptor. This one appears to have become organic and grown fur. I'm not sure what's going on with that. One of these days we'll get around to figuring it out. Very strange. And then in the craft and cosplay room, I finally have everything set up and ready to go with the DCSJ, so we'll be working on that today. I found out as well that the Valkyria Chronicles Shamrock tank kit that I have that I wanted to work on, this one does not have any decal stickers or anything like that, so it is completely naked plastic and does require paint. So I'm a little bit intimidated by that because I've never painted a model kit before, but we will get around to figuring that out eventually and hopefully have a nice looking tank there and eventually get the other one as well. So on to the Market Watch. All right, what is up, guys? January Market Watch here, and there's not really a whole lot new in terms of news, but I did want to talk about some upcoming projects that I have coming up and what is new that it's available, what little there is. So I do have some time off coming up in February, which will allow me to get some more kits out of my backlog finally. I started building the DCSJ today, which is like 4 months late from when I said I would start building it. But in just like 4 hours, I managed to get the head and the entire body done, which is pretty good compared to like the 13 hours it took me to build the Great Saber. So I might be able to bang out the legs and actually finish it tonight. We'll see how that goes. But either way, the review for that should be coming soon. And then I'm going to start building the HMM Red Horn. And I'll sort of pad out the time in that review with a review of the Tomy motorized Lightning Sykes and maybe the Zero Greasus as well, because I know that's due for review. So, yeah, very excited about it. And then me and Michelle just recorded the Zoids waifu tier list, which is something that I can't believe I'm making, but I made it, and it turned out really well. I'm really excited to see what you guys think of it. The most degenerate thing I've ever done. So over here in Ami, the Shield Liger Markings Plus, it was just announced, is available for pre-order. So it has been a long, long time since we had a generic Shield Liger reprint. This is one of the very first, if not the first HMM. And I can say, because I'm building the DCSJ right now,
that the core body construction of the shield Liger and the blade Liger are nearly identical. That was probably done on purpose because of their connection via lore and how the blade Liger is essentially built off of the shield Liger's design, sort of evolved from it. So there's a lot of base elements of the shield Liger's design that remain in the blade Liger. And because I have built the blade Liger HMM now twice, with the third one on the way, the DCSJ has been super easy. So I highly recommend picking this up. I will probably go ahead and pre-order mine now. It looks like, even though it is generic, so it's interesting because it's like halfway between the original Tomy OJR 1983 colors and the NJR anime colors. This blue is more in line with the modern, like, Van Shield Liger blue, but the decision to make the fangs and feet the silver like this is more in line with the old school color scheme. So it's pretty interesting, but yeah, would highly recommend it, especially if you're looking for a generic shield Liger you can customize, although the DCSJ is still being distributed in the US distribution for Zoids here soon. So, but other than that, here in AmiAmi, we have a couple of basically the same stuff as before. The Iguan reissue is still available for pre-order. Most of their stuff appears to be out of stock, though, surprisingly enough. The Rev Raptor is finally gone. The Raven Raptor and the Zero X are still in stock. They have a pre-owned Empire Liger Markings Plus on here if you guys wanted to snatch that up. The new Godos reprint is out as well if you guys wanted to pick that up. Some people have already gotten their hands on that. So this is not the same print that was released last year or the year before, the former Republic Army version. This is a Markings Plus version of the one that I reviewed a few months ago, the vanilla civilian colors, the silver and gray. That's the same color as like the NJR Gojulus colors. You also have these things on here, these special limited Takara Tomy runs of some of the Zoids Wild Kits you can potentially get on here, which is pretty cool. On HLJ, on the other hand, we still have, pre-orders for these two are up. This one is in stock, but their stock overall is much better. They still have these two in stock. They still have the Rev Raptor, and they still have stuff like the Wild Liger and the reissues, the 2020 reissues of the Blade Liger and the Genosaur. And they still have generic Saber Tiger. They still have the DCSJ. They still have a lot of really good stuff. Apparently, it was announced that there is going to be a reissue, yet another reprint of the Berserk Fury, which is, I guess, comes at a pretty good time considering the popularity in amongst the fan base of the aggressive series, the ZA Berserk Fury. Speaking of which, if we go over to USA Gundam Store here, they are technically out of stock of all three. So again, you can pre-order the actual HMM one, or you can go with the ZA Berserk Fury, which a lot of people seem to like quite a bit. And then the one with the Sturm Tyranno, Sturm unit attachment things, Sturm Fury. Yeah, which I talked about before as like this weird anomaly where they kind of just went with their own design, which I guess I can't fault them for. Like, it is pretty cool, but yeah, it's just this weird anomalous thing that exists. But they're still only available for pre-order on USA Gundam Store, which is interesting. As far as the rest of the Zoids on USA Gundam Store, they have pretty much everything, but something to keep in mind is because this is a North American-based store, hence the name USA Gundam Store, you are waiting for them to receive their allocation of kits from Kodo. So if you order from AmiAmi, for instance, you'll get it as soon as Japan gets it, and then after you wait for like DHL shipping or whatever you chose. So you're basically paying a premium to get it shortly after its initial release. Whereas with here, shipping may be cheaper, but you're paying a greater store markup and you're waiting exponentially longer. I have still not gotten any notification about my Empire Liger Markings Plus. I ordered this from here, and it's been out now since early December, and we're almost at the end of January now, and I've heard not a single thing about this, so that's sure is interesting. I'm also happy to report that some stores in the U.S. are actually finally receiving their allocation of Kodo HMMs. So Hobbytown got exactly one Fang Tiger in, and that was it. And Win Condition Games, which I talked about mostly on the other channel for their card game and video game stuff that they sell, fantastic store, highly recommend. It's also like 5 minutes from my house. They got in the 2020 Blade Liger, the Gun Sniper W2 unit, this one, and they got the Fang Tiger as well. So they actually got quite a few different kits over there. All of those I either had or didn't want. And they're also charging a bit of a markup for them, but they're available. So again, you're either paying a slight markup to avoid. You're paying like the slight markup plus whatever would be paid for in shipping to have it right now, or you're paying like maybe slightly less to wait a few weeks to get it or something like that. So, but yeah, I don't really have time this month, unfortunately, to go over the used market. A little bit out of touch as far as that goes, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I am very much excited for the next couple of reviews that are coming out, and very much excited for the waifu tier list. And I also had a really cool idea for more Battle Legends content, where I want to do a Zoids Battle Legends randomizer, but the only way I feel like I could do a randomizer is with some kind of external input, because there's nothing I can add to the game, like to mod the game to create a randomized element to it. So I'll just use that website that lets you create a wheel of random things on it, and I'll just spin that wheel to see what Zoid I start the tournament with, and I have to finish the tournament with that Zoid. It was a cool idea I had, so let me know what you guys think about that, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.